Hi there, welcome to Cocktail Mode, the podcast where me, Andy and my good mate Dave pick a retro game and try and pair it with a cocktail. You may recall, if you listened to our Ian Oliver interview, a second episode of this series, we had the fantastic Ian Oliver on to talk about working with real-time games on early 3D on the Spectrum and on into Sega and all that stuff. And he mentioned in passing that Graham Baird wasn't very well, and you may have heard that since then Graham has sadly passed away. You may not think you know Graham Baird, but when you start to talk about Sackboy on the PlayStation 5, Little Big Planet on the PlayStation 3, Driver San Francisco, I know he was really keen making happen. And then obviously all the way back, all the games that Ian was talking about, Carrier Command, Star Glider, Star Strike games, Graham was involved in all of those. And a game that we are going to do as an episode for sure at some point in the future is Colony Wars, and he was involved in Colony Wars 3. Red Sun. My love of games goes all the way back to games like 3D Star Strike. Thoughts with his family, obviously, to whom it means a lot more than games. So I hope that his family are doing all right.
Ian posted something on Facebook on, I think it was the Saturday night, to say that Graham had passed away that day. So I sent a quick Facebook message to the guys at the Retro Hour podcast, because I thought, if we post it, 5 people will see it. If they post it, 5,000 people will see it. I don't want him to go without anybody realising who he was and what he did.
No, absolutely.
If there's some way to celebrate Graham, then that'd be nice.
I'm glad we did that episode beforehand and got to speak to Ian, and because it was Ian Oliver, Graham Baird, and
Andy Onions.
Andy Onions, that was it. They were the real-time guys back, and they were the original trio. So those stories that Ian talked about from back in the day, I imagine Graham Baird was very close by and as drunk. So yeah, a rare moment of us being serious, but that won't last very long, I promise. Today we are looking at Pilotwings on the SNES, or as the Americans call it, the SNES. As we say every time, we really don't care. The whole like and subscribe thing, the painful YouTube nonsense that I know you hate, we hate as well. But please leave us a comment. We really do love to hear from you. Genuinely, still to this day, we're on season 3, and every time we get a comment, it makes me genuinely happy. So please drop us a line, say anything. Let us know what you think about Pilotwings, the series, the SNES game, whatever. Tell us. We really want to hear about it.
Have you ever replayed the same Rocket Belt level 50,000 times to try and fucking like... In terms of the real life aspects of Pilotwings, what out of the 4 events have you done?
I have. So I've paraglided, which is kind of a mix of hang gliding and parachuting.
Okay.
Sort of.
Didn't you have a flying lesson once?
Yeah,
so
I've done that too. So I've flown a plane, and I've paraglided, which I guess is probably closer to hang gliding than skydiving, because the event is skydiving, and I 100% have never used a rocket belt. So I would say probably nearly hang gliding and definitely flying an aeroplane.
Yeah.
How about you?
Skydive.
Yeah.
Out of all of them, it's the one I've done. I had a voucher. You know, you get vouchers for like event things. I had a voucher to do a flying lesson and never did it.
Yeah, that was very nearly my story, because I got that a voucher to do it for my 21st birthday from my brother, and did it about a week before my 22nd birthday when it was going to run out. So it very nearly, but yeah, absolutely loved it. It's an incredible thing. Those little planes, it's closer to riding a bike in the sky than driving a car in the sky. And it just moves around so much. It's the most surprising thing about it, and the thing that I took away was those little single engine Cessna type planes. You look at them and they glide serenely across the sky. When you're inside them, it's just constantly moving in every direction. Yeah. It's just bizarre.
A washing machine with wings is how a lot of pilots describe them.
It really takes a bit of getting used to it. It's the most surprising thing. They don't mention it to you. You do a briefing and they don't say, oh, by the way, it's going to move around around more than you think. And then you get up there and you're just like, is this normal?
Am I gonna die?
It just bobs around. It just it's constantly bobbing around, and you turn a bit to the left and you're turning to the left whilst also bobbing around a bit. There's no straight and level fight. It doesn't feel like being in a jetliner like you'd go on a holiday at all. If you do get the opportunity, sorry to rub it in, Dave, you'd be a fool to miss it.
I know.
It's very special. You really feel the lack of very much between you and the open sky. It really does feel a bit like a tin shack. It's brilliant. Absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
But on the flip side, I've never skydived. What's that like?
Terrifying, fascinating, exhilarating, all in one thing.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of stories around my skydive. One of which was that it was a charity thing arranged by the local pub, the Turnpike in Bedford. Do you remember that? Where we used to play pool at lunch?
Yeah, down on the corner from where we worked.
So yeah, it was a charity event organised by the people in the pub. We raised something like $5,000, I think, for Bedford Hospital, which the couple who used to run the pub ran away with. They fucked off and stole the money.
I shouldn't laugh.
No, I know you shouldn't laugh, but it's utter pricks.
It's so fucking Bedford.
$5,000. That's going to get you far, isn't it? I remember thinking that at the time, like, Jesus. I think they took money out of the till as well and left debts behind. But yeah, anyway, there was that. There was also the fact that we got there on the day to do the jump. A lot of clouds in the sky. A lot of sitting around waiting for the clouds to disperse.
Yeah.
Yeah, did our training and briefing thing. Most of the people I was with went up and did their jump, and then 6 hours later I finally got to do mine. But yeah, I fucking loved it. It was the first time I'd ever been in a plane.
Oh fucking hell.
Yeah, I'm still at an odd number of takeoffs and landings because of it. The only way I can ever get it back is if I somehow land a plane without having taken off first. I have to base jump into a plane and land to even it out.
By the way, YouTube that, one of those mad Red Bull videos, somebody, I think they actually wingsuit out of one plane and into a different plane. Insane what people do. And brilliant.
That's a game that needs making, like a wingsuit flying thing. That'd fit right in with all the extreme sports stuff.
Yeah.
In fact, I think there might be a wingsuit element to Steep, like a snowboarding game that I played on Steam a couple of years ago.
There's actually a wingsuit bonus level in Pilotwings Resort.
Ah, okay.
But being a Nintendo game, it's called a flying squirrel suit. Yeah, I know. But no, I'd love to try have a go at skydiving. I still might. I mean, I still should, to be honest with you. No reason why not to. So on the off chance that you've never played or seen Pilotwings, we're focusing primarily on the SNES version today. I mean, it's a very simple game. It was a launch title for the SNES. I mean, it's Mode 7. So if you haven't heard of Mode 7 graphics are generated for each pixel by mapping screen coordinates to background coordinates using an affine transformation and sampling the corresponding background color. Translated to the origin coordinate system, the matrix is applied, and the result is translated back to the original coordinate system to obtain R, which basically means it's a really cool rotation effect.
I think genuinely believe that Mode 7 is, I wouldn't say the only thing, but one of the main reasons the SNES was better than the Mega Drive.
Yeah.
Because that on its own just allowed people to do some amazing things. Like we said last week, if Space Harrier had come out on the SNES, it would have looked beautiful.
It's Mode 7, and you basically fly an aeroplane, a jetpack, a hang glider, or just skydiving, and you're trying to beat scores to progress and unlock harder levels.
Fly through hoops, land on target.
It's very, very simple as a game, and I think that's very much to its credit.
I genuinely think it's one of the best games that ever came out on the SNES.
Wow, high praise indeed.
Yeah, I do.
I think it's one of these games that it very much plays into the way games played at that time. And I think, to be honest with you, Japanese games still do this. Whereas, yeah, you can play through the game and beat it. And it probably, if you use save states and if you bammed your way through it, it probably wouldn't take you very long to get through the whole game.
About 3 hours, I can confirm.
If If you didn't and you owned it on a cartridge and played it on your SNES and basically got a password every time you cleared a set of levels, this game would take you weeks. And even then, when you'd beaten it, you would go back and you would try and beat your scores. And then it's this whole thing is, yes, you can pass it. There is a pass grade to move on, but there's always better. You can always go back and do better. And I'm sure there are videos out there of people scoring perfect marks on the hardest levels of the game. Do not, if you have not played this game, underestimate how difficult that is based on the simplicity of how it looks. Just landing in a fucking straight line is hard in those later levels. Such a cliche, but cliches are full of truth, which is why they're cliches. Easy to play, hard to master. Like, in a nutshell, the whole game, that's exactly what it is.
I watched a guy playing it earlier, like a modern gaming YouTube channel who does Let's Plays. He clearly never played it before. And on the first plane level, where you are literally lined up with the runway, all you have to do is go down a little bit to get into the perfect flight path to land the plane. He was veering off left and right and up and down and fucking everywhere. It was brilliant. It took him about a quarter of an hour to actually finish that first level. It's a simpler time. This is a simpler game than what you're used to.
Well, let's be fair. Maybe he was using an Xbox 360 controller.
Which is one of the things, you mentioned to me, don't use an Xbox controller. I'm assuming you meant the analog.
No, the D-pad.
Because I've been using the D-pad and it's perfect.
Really?
Yep, absolutely no issues whatsoever.
Maybe it's the way I've got my emulator set up. Well, I guess, again, this is the first time you've played this for a very, very long time.
I haven't played this in easily 32 years.
And I think obviously the SNES D-pad, they had the pattern, it was the proper D-pad. And I found trying to use the 360 D-pad, which is more sensitive in the corners, I found it borderline impossible.
Really? Oh, I found it fine.
Yeah, well, I guess maybe it was just me.
Yeah.
But I would recommend not using that. It doesn't matter. And maybe if you've not played it before, it'd be fine. I just found it so oversensitive. It did my nut in.
I'm probably just better at it than you were.
You say that, Dave. I didn't use save states. I just pressed retry a lot.
Actually, I didn't use save states for a long time. I did play it through, and there were very few instances where I actually needed to reload a level. So I'd save it before every attempt at something. But more often than not, I landed and scored something. Quite a few of the cases, I did get the bonuses and like the perfect landings and things as well. Because I did used to be actually very good at this when I had it.
Yeah.
I had it on a SNES, and I can remember being really, really good with the rocket belt and probably better than average at everything else. And I think one of the main things of this is it's understanding the physics behind the momentum and things like that.
For what it is, when you think about, I mean, in particular, the aeroplane level, you're on a D-pad and you can't even, there's not even separate banking and turning. It's very, very basic controls, but it's got great feel to it. It just feels, and when you've got later on in the game, when you get bad weather conditions, you really conveys that really, really well for such a simple game. I'm gonna make a prediction here. Because there is a certain way that I play this game. I don't know if this is how everybody plays this game. I'm going to predict this is how you play this game, right?
Okay.
Do the rocket belt first, land on the moving target, and then you don't have to score as much for the rest of the games.
Nope.
No?
Nope. I always do the plane first.
Why?
I always do the plane first because it's the easiest one. You always come in to the runway straight.
No. If you've been playing it a while like we have, I don't think while I've been playing this game over the last couple of weeks, I don't think I've crashed the plane once. It becomes second nature. It's a very simple, basic thing. But I do the rocket belt first because it's the easiest one to get to the bonus level on. And then when you get to the bonus level, you score your 140 points. I was playing it just before we came on air, and I did the rocket belt first, and then I did the plane, and I needed 13 points from the skydive to qualify. Yeah. And that's what I want. That's my target, to make it. I want to get to this. Well, basically later on I want to get to the hang glider needing as few points as possible, because that shit gets hard.
I've done surprisingly quite well with the hang glider at the lower levels.
Yeah.
But as you get into the second and third sort of stages, I started to rely on save states a bit more.
Yeah.
And I also found that SNES 9X, which is the emulator I've been using for about 30 years now, has a rewind feature. So you don't even need to reload a state. It's great. But there's some that I get on the first go.
Yeah.
And most of the time, it's like, especially with the skydiving, it's just a general feeling like, oh, I want to go off in that direction a bit more off the start, turn around a bit around this height when I start to go towards the target area. And it's just hoping for the best. I've always found the skydiving one of the harder ones, but the hang glider is particularly dickish. Yeah, I don't really struggle with the normal, quote unquote, normal events. Some of the bonus stages I'm awful at. You know, the one where you basically like jump onto trampolines.
Yeah.
Like these big bird wings.
Yeah.
I think you're dressed as a chicken, aren't you?
Yeah.
You do that and you bounce a couple of times and then there'll be a big trampoline and you're supposed to land somewhere in the sea. I missed the first thing every time. I missed the second thing about 90% of the time. And I'd normally go in the water before I even hit the trampoline. And I just think, sod it, I don't care. I don't need those points. I'm not worried about those points.
At that point, so again, if you've not played it, you've got a normal, whatever you're trying to land, there is a normal sort of target, or sometimes two. Obviously, the closer to the middle you get, the more points you get. But there is also, from fairly early on, a moving target, which is hard to land on with the jetpack, which hovers. I'm not sure I ever landed on one of those fucking things with a hang glider. Ever. I don't know. Maybe I did. It's a long time ago since I played it.
I've done it skydiving. I've done it skydiving in one go on some of these.
They're different bonus levels, aren't they?
Yeah.
Because the bouncy chicken thing is
Jetpack.
The rocket pack, the jetpack. Yeah. I can't remember what the others are.
There's a penguin going off a high diving board, which I think is the skydive.
Oh, yes.
And then there's a tap the button as fast as you can. It's the hang glider one. You're basically the bloke with the flappy bird wings.
Right.
And you have to sort of move up and down and tap the shit out of the button. I've managed to get all three. I'm assuming there's no bonus level for the plane because I've never seen anything else I can land on.
No. I mean, from playing recently, I think I may have done back in the day, but the only time I've ever scored perfect on the plane is on the very, very first level. I did the second one where all you've got to do is fly through 3 rings at a very slight angle to the runway and then turn on. I got 97 on earlier today, which is the best. That's just brutal. Back to the bonus level, which I've played a lot because of the way I play the game. You can get from the rocket about 160 points.
Yeah, I usually get 105. You know, when you finish it and the instructors, because they always comment on your performance at the end of a run after you land, yes. You get you did really well, or you could do better, or if you fail, they've got a thing for that. I've only ever seen on the Birdman bouncy thing.
Yeah, you
shouldn't waste your bonus stage. That's all I've ever seen. The penguin one, I've done that quite well.
Yeah, because
the penguin one, you're going off of a probably about 100-foot diving board into a swimming pool, and before you jump, if you look, there's a tiny little pool way off in the distance at the end of it that's worth like 70 points.
Wow. Yeah,
it's not easy to get. That took a lot of save states, but I got it.
The Birdman one, when you get to the main target thing, it's actually quite forgiving because you're going for the 30, you're going to basically you have to go right from the far edge of the trampoline and be pushing right forward because it is as far as you can go.
You've got to time it perfectly, haven't you?
Yeah, and you bang off and you're going for the 30 and you literally you're lined up and you're going for it and right at the last minute you can go, nope, not going to make it. And if you veer off to the side, you score more points than if you fall short. So it's always like you just... So
yeah, because it's got fun. There's a drop-off to it, isn't there?
Yeah.
You lose your momentum, and where you think you're going at a nice steady speed, you sort of start to drop down rather than carry on your forward momentum. But again, it ties back into the feeling that there's a physical... like a proper mathematical calculation behind the momentum in this game.
Yeah.
That I've always appreciated.
It's very simple, these 4 things. The jetpack, you basically have directions and then 2 speeds of power. Hang gliding, you're just falling. There are thermals, so you can go up again. Skydiving, you're literally falling, and then you open your parachute and try and land on the target. And then the aeroplane is a fairly simplistic biplane that you normally have to take off, fly through some rings and then land. And with all this simplicity over, I guess if you go through twice, what's it, 16 sets of levels probably?
Yeah, something like that.
It adds little complications in like weather and wind and dark and rain and little tiny things.
Or the rings get smaller or on the ground. My favourite plane level, you have to take off the runway, go out, do a U-turn, come back and then fly under a half ring that's on the floor.
It's an arch, yeah.
And back up and then through another one. I love them. They're such a simple, like you said about the simplicity of it. It also hides a very complicated and very accurate physics system in terms of momentum. When you're using the rocket pack, you lean forward and burst on the rocket pack. You're flying forward until you take some of that off. So if you try and turn, you don't. You're still going the original direction you were going.
Yeah.
You're just facing a different way. So you have to boost in that direction.
To me, the rocket pack feels like an evolution of those old games like Gravatar and Moonlander.
Thrust is the one I always hark back to.
Yeah. It's very much that idea, isn't it? And I've always loved those games. Always. And I don't even know why. It's one of those things that doesn't really fit into the other games I love. But those games where you control stuff and there's momentum and thrust, and I love it. I think, to be fair, the rocket belt is probably the hardest to fail completely at of the four.
It's the most accessible, isn't it?
I think so, yeah. I think most people would say that's their favourite if they played it because it is. But I think the most fun is the aeroplane. It just, really? And I think, I just think there's, even on like a slightly nerdy technical level, that they've made it so aeroplaney with a fucking D-pad.
This game gets the cocktail mode aeroplaney seal of approval.
Absolutely.
No higher accolade can be given.
And we did an episode on air combat, ace combat, whatever, and that's got all the banking and all that stuff, different planes and everything.
But it wasn't aeroplaney.
It wasn't aeroplaney. But I genuinely think it's brilliant. I just absolutely love how, and I think the whole game actually is one of the games that feels the most analog with very digital controls. There's something, I think, the thrust and the momentum that you talk about and all these things and the way it feels, it feels like an analog game even though it isn't. It's so digital.
No, I know what you mean. I've always thought it modelled that feeling of momentum and weight really, really well.
And it's so satisfying, isn't it? Like quite early on with the rocket boat, it switches from being rings you have to fly through to a bar, so basically a light shining into the air that you have to fly through. And I think the first time it does it, it's free. When you take off and you bang and you go through one and then you go through the next one and you go through the third one and you don't in one go, even though it's on a very easy level and there's no wind and anything, it still feels fucking great when you because it's such a small thing to aim at, and you go and you blast through one and you spin around and you go for the other one. When you get them all in one hit and then go straight off and land it, that's awesome. It's so satisfying because it's not easy. And I think it's something that, again, we talk about modern games a lot. I think if you made a modern version of this, it would be really hard to do that because most of the time people don't want that level of challenge anymore.
No, they want the hand to be held.
Yeah.
They want to be shown how to do something in the first place, which you don't get in this. You're just kind of thrown. You get shown what the buttons do.
Yes.
That's it. That's the tutorial. Here's what the buttons do. You're then completely on your own to figure it out properly. Which, again, I love that. A modern game would have all sorts of difficulty settings where stuff would be done for you. There'd be just endless on-screen indicators of what you should be doing.
So the most modern version of Pilotwings is Pilotwings Resort on the 3DS.
Which I'm expecting you to say is awesome.
Do you know what? It's not, but it's not bad.
Oh, okay, that's a shame.
But the thing is, it doesn't do any of those things that you just mentioned.
Right.
There is some simplicity to it, like the aeroplane is a seaplane, so it obviously makes it a lot easier to land. And the I think the thing that sort of plays into that modern gamer stereotype of making things easy is the jetpack has a hover button. So you basically just hover it. You press it and it stops you and hovers you at exactly where you were, which, I found it not as addictive, which is such a rote fucking word, but this is what Pilotwings has. It's that whole one more go. It's I'm going to get it next time. It's like, that's what Pilotwings is brilliant at. And Pilotwings Resort, I found myself doing that. It's a lot easier. It's a lot more simplistic. It's got, I think it's the plane, the hang glider and the rocket belt, I think, are the three things in it. But I found myself enjoying it, and much more than the N64 game. Because shock horror on cocktail mode, the N64's a piece of shit.
How bad is it?
I hated it. I absolutely hated it, and I hated it despite myself. I didn't want to hate it. There are good games on the N64. You know, it's become a bit of a running joke that everything on the N64 we talk about we don't like. It was a big game for the N64. Nintendo partnered with a third-party company who had built very sophisticated flight sims before to make this game and put it together, and it was just...
This is Paradigm, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Very impressive technical stuff.
Oh, incredible.
They used to make simulations for the Air Force.
Yes.
And the US military. You know their stuff's good.
Pilotwings 64 is not that.
No.
Pilotwings 64, again, I think it's either launch or very close to launch for the N64. But that's no excuse. Pilotwings was a launch game for the SNES. Mario 64, as much as we're not massive fans, it still plays well and works as a game despite being a launch game for the N64. It's like a tech demo if you didn't want anyone to buy the tech.
The Genesis, the very, very early Genesis of Pilotwings on the SNES was a tech demo called Dragonfly, which became Pilotwings. So the idea of a tech demo becoming a launch title isn't new.
Oh, no, not at all. There's nothing wrong with that as a concept, as an idea or whatever. That's not why Pilotwings 64 is shit. Pilotwings 64 is shit because it handles like shit. It looks like shit.
It does look awful.
It's a horrifically bad-looking game.
It's got that weird muddiness
Yeah.
that N64 games seem to have.
Yeah, it has that. It's got a complete lack of personality about it, which is something that the SNES game has got in abundance.
Yeah, all the joy's gone out of it, isn't it?
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's just, it looks like it's been thrown together as a game in very short order. And maybe it wasn't. Maybe it took 3 years, but it's just bad. No, not having it.
You can't even think of something to say.
I can't. There's basically 3.5 games in the Pilotwings series. There's the SNES one, the N64 one. Pilotwings Resort started as a sub-game of Wii Sports Resort. I think Wii Sports Resort rather than Wii Sports.
Oh, okay.
Wii Sports, the single best-selling video game of all time.
Is it?
Wii fucking Sports. Not that it's not a lot of fun, but anyway. But yeah, there was I think it was Wii Sports Resort. There was a thing where you could fly around. It was set on an island, hence the resort thing. You could fly around in a plane. There's like a sub thing of that, and that's what they turned into Pilotwings Resort on the 3DS. And I'm not exaggerating. It's not me just being contrarian to say that the 3DS game is much, much better than the N64 game. It really is. Yes, it's simple. Yes, it's fairly easy, but it's actually fun to play. Which, I think the N64 game had lots of unlockable stuff beyond the standard missions and that. But if a game is so bad that you can't get to those things to unlock them, then there's no point in them being there anyway.
Who would have thought that we wouldn't like the N64 version? The N64 came out in, 95, 96? Pilotwings 64 was released in Japan in June 96.
Okay.
So if it was a launch title, then that's basically when the system launched.
Yeah.
So the same year, there was an arcade game called Prop Cycle.
Ooh, you had a...
It's pedal-powered.
Yeah, pedal-powered.
And it's more fun than any version of Pilotwings could ever be, just because of the play method. It's one of those games that you get on it for a laugh, and a couple of minutes later you get off dying. Good fun, and a better game than Pilotwings 64, released in the same year.
How familiar are you with other Mode 7 games?
Super Mario World.
Did that have Mode 7? I've not really played it.
Yeah, it's when you
Yeah.
beat the bosses, they spin and like zoom in and out, or look like they zoom in and out the screen. I've probably seen a lot more of it than I realise.
Yeah.
Games that rely on it heavily, probably Pilotwings is the main one.
I mean, obviously Super Mario Kart, which I know I played a lot of.
Yeah, there's probably loads that I've never really thought about, because I tend not to sit playing a game and look look at it and analyse it on a technical level like that.
No.
Especially back then.
Well,
I
no,
just looked at
exactly.
it and gone, oh, that's a cool effect. I like that. I would never would have even considered how it's doing that or why it's doing that.
No,
Even
I'm with
now,
you.
I wouldn't.
I mean, and coming from a PC gamer, that's saying a lot.
PC gamer who used to have an Amstrad.
Well, yeah.
I'm just happy that the things are recognisable as the things they're supposed to be.
I had a Formula 1 game called Exhaust Heat, which was full mode 7. It's one of those games that I know wasn't very good, but I used to play it a lot because I had it, and I had it, so I had to play it. But quite good fun. The progression system was quite good on it. But yeah, full mode 7 on the tracks, much like Mario Kart.
I've just thought F-Zero is probably one of the best examples of it, isn't it?
It's very well known. It's very good. I really struggle with F-Zero.
I don't think I ever actually owned it, so I never had much time with it. The times I played it were literally like a race, and that was it.
It's a difficult handling model to get your hand around. I played it, owned it, beat it, I think, but I never feel like I actually enjoyed it. But yeah, it's a very, very difficult handling system, F-Zero.
Yeah.
You talk about the difference in games now to the retro that we talk about. Nobody would put up with F-Zero today if that game came out. No, this game is broken. Take it back.
This is not finished.
Yeah.
I want a refund.
And it absolutely is. But yeah, as much as I played it and had it, I don't feel any love for F-Zero. I feel like it was maybe just a step too far. But Axlay really surprised me because Axlay's Mode 7 isn't in the bit that you think it is. It's not the scrolling effect on the top of the screen. That's not Mode 7. It uses it for other bosses and things. But I always thought that was using Mode 7 to get that. If you've not played it, it's top down, but it feels like the levels are rolling towards you almost.
It's like a sort of curvature of the earth effect.
Yeah. It's very, very cool, but it's not Mode 7 apparently.
Okay.
Contra on the SNES has got in between levels that aren't on other versions that are top down.
Right. Yep.
They're Mode 7. I can't think of any others, and I think there's lots.
I would imagine there's loads. It's something it could do, so why not use it?
If you've got any other favourite Mode 7 games on the SNES, let us know in the comments. I don't think it was. There's only so much you can do with it, I guess, isn't there?
Well, that's it. You've got to have a use for it, haven't you?
Yeah.
It's like when every PlayStation developer decided to put lens flare in their game. They didn't need to. They just chose to. I sat playing Pilotwings for the first time in like 30 years recently.
Yeah.
And I was getting quite far into it. And I had the thought in my head of, remember when we said about pacifist games where you don't really do anything?
Yes.
This really fits that really, really well. And then for the first time ever, I got to the helicopter bonus mission where you have to blow stuff up and rescue people. I thought, I've never seen this before. I didn't even know this was in the game.
It's such a weird thing, isn't it?
And it's so hard. It's so difficult. It's a nightmare. Fly along. We've got to rescue some people. I'm being shot at. Wait, what? I can shoot? Wait, what? It's so at odds with the rest of the game.
Yes, and it's so bizarre.
It's almost like somebody said to them, you need to put something in where you blow shit up. It's honestly really weird.
Is that honestly this game? It's this whole. The music's just a nice vibe. It's all bright, sunny, and blue. And I mean, you look at our thumbnail. That's the whole vibe of the game. It's all very.
Even the later levels, the sunset's nice. Even the night levels are fairly pleasant.
Yeah.
Then there's the murder, death, kill bit.
The thing is, as you go through, you start and there's you have instructors which teach you nothing. Basically, they just give you praise if you do well, or call you a dickhead if you did really badly.
Yeah, was it Tony, Lance, and what's the other one?
Sheila, is it
something like that? And then Mike.
And so these three, and they talk you through, and you do, well done, you've qualified for the next license, and you go up a level, and blah, blah, blah. And you beat their bit, and then you start a new level, and there's this military guy there going, and he goes, your three instructors have been kidnapped, you've got to go and rescue them. The government can't be known to be involved, so you're the only person who can do it. And it's just like, what the fuck is going on? It's just like, no. And literally airdropped in from a different different game. Just bizarre.
It is. It's almost like somebody cut and paste from something else that was in development at the time.
Yeah, it's bonkers. Absolute bonkers. And it is brutally hard. And when you get to it at the very end of the game, when you have to do it again and it's dark, and the dark isn't the difficult thing. The difficult thing is that you are basically getting murdered by bullets coming at you from every single angle all at once. Crazy.
Sometimes from things that are invisible.
Yes.
I couldn't fucking believe that. First time I played it, I was flying along.
Yeah.
There's the helipad. Oh, there's a few things to kill around it. Fair enough. Yep, brilliant. Then I started to get shot by things that were just trees. I was like, you fucking kidding? This is horrible. Who put this in here? Did somebody just come along and say, nah, this game's far too fun. Stop doing that. Put this in there. It almost ruins the game. If it wasn't for the fact that I could save state my way through it, I would probably have never got through that.
Did you struggle with it that badly?
I was shit at it. Because I've just spent however many attempts at all the other shit getting used to the idea of like proper flight physics and momentum and weight and gravity and things like that, and just knowing that no one's going to shoot me out of the sky. And then all of a sudden I'm putting an attack helicopter that's shooting missiles down on a fucking jungle where you can't see the people that are shooting at you.
It's an odd choice. It really is.
It's weird. Do you know what's really odd though? There's an arcade game that is that exact game.
You're not thinking about Metal Hawk, are you?
Oh, it might be Metal Hawk.
Because Metal Hawk is much, much better than that.
No, but like the viewpoint and how it works.
Yeah, Metal Hawk is fantastic.
Yeah, great game.
Brilliant game. The game we know as Aero Wings, Aero Dancing I think it was called, is basically, it's a passive flying game again.
Yes. Dreamcast launch title.
Yeah. And it's basically you learn how to do acrobatics, isn't it?
Yep. The game I bought with my Dreamcast.
Oh yes, you mentioned that previously. I think it may have been inspired in concept by. I've got nothing to back this up, but the fact that it's a passive game. You don't shoot anything, you don't kill anything. That the sequel you do, but in the original you don't.
Yeah, it's a similar spirit, isn't it? Similar tone.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, it's to be fair with you, even harder than Pilotwings.
It's very difficult.
So hard. Talk to me about your method of attack for the skydiving level.
Jump off the helicopter, the ladder suspended from the helicopter.
Yeah.
That's a harsh way to start a level. Hanging onto the ladder on the bottom of a helicopter. They could have just started you at the altitude and chucked you out. I always thought that was a bit harsh. Poor little bastard. My method usually, if I know where the rings are going to be, is drop down so I'm going through them faster.
Yeah.
Turn to where I know they're going to need to be turned into and fly through all the rings. And then at about 1,000 feet when it starts to tell me I should deploy the chute.
Yeah.
Level off so I'm not dropping as fast. Aim away from the landing zone about 180 degrees. Open the chute. Drop down to about 600 feet and then loop around back and sort of vaguely aim at it. Pretty much what I do every time.
My method is to, well, basically, I basically halo jump every time.
I was just about to say, do you halo it? You should describe halo in case no one knows what it is.
High altitude, low opening is the thing. It's been done in films. It's been done in one of the Bond films. It's got quite known, but for a while it was like a state secret. Literally, no one knew this method existed because it's for bypassing radar. You jump out of an aeroplane very high up and point yourself at the ground and skydive very, very quickly to a very low altitude, and then open a parachute just so it stops you dying, basically. And so my method on the skydiving is to jump out off the ladder, point myself straight down, might make a few rings, might not, they're only worth 5 points each anyway, and then at 600 feet open the parachute.
And hope for the best.
Hope for the best. But yeah, I'm always, and after that, I like to keep the target area just at the edge of the screen on the left and just sort of circle around it. Mm-hmm. And then when you get to 100, 150 feet, you kind of swing in and try and attempt a landing of some sort. I think because of the way I always do the rocket belt first to get the bonus, normally by the time I get round to doing the skydiving, I don't need a huge score. So it's just, I'm basically just trying to get it over with as quickly as possible.
But you do need to get a score.
Oh,
you
yeah,
do need to
something.
actually land or you get fucking nothing.
But yeah, I think parachuting is, I find, or skydiving, sorry, I find it the hardest and least enjoyable of the 4 events.
I think the hang glider's got more potential for things to go wrong. One of the things I looked up before we started recording tonight was thermals and what they are and how they work. Because I've played this game, I know what a thermal is. It's an updraft of air that you use to get higher altitude in Pilotwings.
Yeah,
that's a thermal as far as I'm concerned.
Oh, okay.
There is no real world equivalent. It doesn't exist. So I thought, that has to be a real thing. I should look it up.
Yes.
And it's quite interesting. It's basically like warm air rising in a column. And then around that column, there's a downdraft. So you know when you go into a thermal in Pilotwings, you like do a drop, don't you? And then you go up. That's a real thing.
Yeah.
A lot of thought, a lot of effort went into this game for those sorts of things, because there is a downward draft, a sort of wrapper around this column of rising air. And I was just reading that and I thought, that just makes me love it more. The fact that they've not just had like, here's a warm air thing, you can go up a bit, but the drop before you get into it and go up. I thought this is just brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. The more I've played this game recently, the more I've grown to love it. I always liked it when I played it back in the day, but I never really had... I don't think I had it for long enough to really get into it. Definitely never saw any of the later levels.
A lot of times when people talk about Pilotwings, they talk about it's got a lack of content and it's, almost a tech demo and all this sort of shit. And you know what? I do say this often, but I mean it more than ever here. If you think that, then you're playing the game wrong, basically. If you're playing it like a modern game where you're basically trying to get to the end as soon as possible, and do you know what? You're going to fail because you've got to fucking... You need to try. You need to learn this game and how it plays and how it works. It is deceptively complicated. Later on, honestly, it gets so difficult, and it's in the most enjoyable way. It really, there are very few games that nail the I've just one more try. I'm just going to do that. I'm not going to bed. I was so close. I'm just going to have one more go.
The big thing is, and we haven't mentioned it yet, you have to do the set, don't you?
Yes.
You can't just do the plane and save it, and then the skydive and save it,
no,
and then the rocket belt and save it. You have to do whatever arrangement of the 3 you choose to do to pass through to the next stage. And I think that's why a lot of people will probably, let's say people who didn't play it much, would never have got far into it enough to even see that first helicopter stage.
No,
because as soon as it starts to ramp up, you might have struggled with one of the events, which meant that you failed it and you retried the whole set of 3 again, or 4, depending on which level it is, and you never got to that point. And I'm pretty sure that's where I was back when it was fresh. Well, not exactly fresh, but new to me.
I agree. I think it's the structure of it is, from a modern perspective, very unforgiving. So you can need to score in everything. So you might start with the event you're best at, or you think you can get the highest score at, but sooner or later you're going to have to try the last thing, and it just makes for tension. And the reason I got to my way of playing was because if I failed it, I could retry, and I would have only wasted the time it takes me to do the rocket belt. If I leave the rocket belt till last and then I failed, the tension, I just couldn't cope with it. If I needed over 100 points to qualify and I got to the rocket belt, I just couldn't deal with the pressure of trying on top of how difficult it is anyway. I can't cope. I can't cope with knowing.
Surely you start with the event you're the least good at.
No, you start...
Because then if you manage it, you know you can do the others.
No, so the thing with the rocket belt is I can score between 130 and 160 points on the rocket belt. This is a scenario that means I wouldn't even have to do the skydiving if I did well enough on the others. That's a win. That is an absolute win.
It's a game that is stuck in my mind as well. I've had a SNES emulator and a collection of several hundred SNES ROMs for probably 25 years. As long as I've had a PC, I think I've had a SNES emulator and all the games that I've got for it. And Pilotwings has never left my mind. If you'd have said at any point in the last 30 years, name some of your favourite SNES games, Pilotwings would have been one of them.
Yeah, no, I think I agree. And I wonder how much of a minority we are in. And it'd be interesting to hear from anybody out there if their thoughts on it. But it doesn't seem to get a lot of love. You talk about the early SNES games and all SNES games, and it was considered at the time there was 4 launch games for the SNES, and it was like it was the trick style of the games as far as everyone was concerned. And one of those games, was it SimCity? I think it was launched with SimCity.
Really?
Yeah.
Fuck off. SimCity on the SNES as a launch title?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Who the hell would have bought that?
Dave is furiously Googling.
Jesus Christ. The guy who ran Maxis at the time, Jeff Braun, made a deal with Nintendo that Maxis would get $1 for every copy sold, and Braun himself would get $1 million check on the spot.
Wow.
That's bonkers. Apparently Miyamoto was a massive fan of SimCity.
Huh.
And that's why they went for it. On the SNES version, instead of Godzilla destroying the city, it's Bowser.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
I've never played it on the SNES. I've never seen it on the SNES.
So one of the things I think that really helps with the tone and the feel of Pilotwings is the music, right?
The music's great.
It is brilliant. Have you found yourself humming it as you've been playing it this week? You just sort of start...
No, I've had nothing but Space Harrier in my mind for the last 4 weeks. The few moments I get where Space Harrier is not playing in my mind, it's the hard rock version of Space Harrier that I've used in the trailer short that went out, or the same band doing the music from 1943, which is brilliant. Okay. But yes, when I'm playing Pilotwings and actually listening to the music, yeah, it's really good. It's very gentle. Like all the menu music is very gentle and nice and everything. And then depending on what you're doing, I mean, the hang gliding levels specifically are just lovely.
Yeah.
Like they're really gentle. You don't feel stressed until you're coming into land, and then it's Blood Pressure City. There's nothing more disappointing. And I think I'd say I get it more with the rocket belt than I do the hang glider. You know when you're coming into land and you sort of do like a hop off of the ground and you hop off of the moving platform into the water. Done that a fair amount.
I think it might have been the parachute. I think coming in and landed, and I was 100% technically should have been in the water, but I was for some reason like right on the corner. There must have been like a tiny fraction of a pixel of crossover between my foot and the corner of the thing.
Yeah, the barrier between failure and success in this is very grey.
Other than Aero Wings, which I've mentioned, do you think of any other game that's anything like this?
Do you know what? I was thinking about this earlier today, and I went for the launch box thing that I spoke about a couple of episodes ago, because that has a thing on it which is like similar games or related games. Nothing that it came up with was anywhere near. So I don't know, but I don't think there is anything like this out there. It's obviously confused because it came up with things like Elite. So I just looked at it and thought, no. I mean, flight sims, yeah, I'll give you flight sims. That makes sense. But yeah, things like Elite came up and I was just like, no. But I can't personally think of anything that's like these. Sorry, that's like this. It is one game, as far as I'm concerned.
I can't think of anything else either, which is why I asked you.
RC Stuntcopter on the PS1.
Oh,
I knew that in my mind there was something that had a similar feel, and yeah, no one played.
Yeah. These are games where you have to achieve a thing to a certain level to progress. That's the gameplay loop, isn't it? You've got to do something and you've got to do it to a standard, to a level, and get better at it in order to progress. And I think Stuntman has that, hard driving, which I remembered has that, and it's rather than being a race or shooting things down, that's how you progress, by getting measurably better. Mm-hmm. Fair?
Yeah, no, I'll give you that. Hard driving is not a game I ever want to remember. bitter memories of playing that in the arcade. It was horrible.
Do you know what's worse than hard driving?
Is it Hard Driving 2? Race driving?
No, hard driving on the Atari Lynx.
I had it on the Amstrad.
Oh, fuck. Well, there can't be a good port of that game. But if there is one, it certainly isn't the Lynx version. I mean, who thought that was a fucking good idea? Jesus Christ. And it's not often I take the name of the Lynx in vain.
No, but you've managed to segue it in here, haven't you?
I mean, yeah, what are we, episode 5? Whatever we're at. I need a new gimmick for season 3. I haven't quite thought what it's going to be yet. Let's talk about cocktails, shall we? So what did you come up with, Dave? Pilotwings.
It will come as no surprise to you that I googled one thing and settled for the first thing that came up.
Dave, mate.
Technically, the second thing that came up.
We're going to have to talk about this,
No,
mate.
we're not. You're going to like this. You are going to like
Okay.
this, I promise you. Especially based on what you've been drinking tonight. You're going to like the drink, at least.
Okay.
So I searched for, just started off in like sort of generic terms. I thought, let's put jet. I just type jet into Difford's and see what comes up. A drink came up called Jet Pilot. I thought, it's not entirely fitting, but let's have a read of it. It sounds like a quite nice drink. It's like 3 different types of rum. Sounds quite nice, actually. Like the look of this. But then I realised it was a variant of another drink called the Test Pilot.
Ah.
And I thought, that sounds better. And it sounds like a really nice drink. And it was invented by your old mate, Don Beach.
That was it?
Yeah.
The Tiki King, Don
Exactly,
Beach.
yeah. Created in around 1941 by Don Beach. Or what was his name? The Beachcomber King or something?
I think it's the Beachcomber.
I think you've got to go back quite a distance to get to the episode where we talk about him. But an interesting guy with an interesting concept of the tiki bar. Basically invented the tiki bar concept and brought it to America and specifically Hollywood. But yeah, as a drink, it sounds really nice as well. It's 45ml or a shot and a half of, well, on Difford's it says Jamaican style aged blended rum with funk. Now I don't know if funk is an added ingredient that you may or may not want, but I like the idea of a rum with funk.
Yeah.
It's not even a brand name. I clicked on it and there's no mention of the funk.
No.
So I don't know where that's come from.
I think maybe it has to be served to you by Bruno Mars. I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know. Or somebody who's actually got a soul. After the 45ml of that, it's 22.5ml.
Stop. Why did I say Bruno Mars when I could have said James Brown?
Yeah.
What's wrong with me?
Or anyone who's actually funky.
Ooh la la. Anyway.
Prince.
Oh, God.
George
And
Clinton from Parliament Funkadelic.
And I said Bruno fucking Mars. What is wrong with me?
Fucking loser.
Get back to your drink. I am ashamed of myself.
Good. So yeah, 45ml of Jamaican style aged blended rum with funk, 22.5ml of light white rum, 7.5ml of triple sec, 7.5ml of falernum, which has come up before in something, and I can't remember what, and then 7.5ml of lemon juice. So it's quite simple. It's kind of like an old fashioned, but with rum replacing whiskey.
Yeah. So the an actual old fashioned with rum replacing whiskey is called a treacle. That's got a bit more going on. Sounds really nice.
It does sound quite nice. I'd be quite interested to give this a go.
It's one of those times where I don't know what falernum tastes like, so I can't. There's a bit of a mystery element in there.
I think if I remember right, it's like a herbal liqueur.
They often are.
Yeah. If it's a strange sounding liqueur, it's usually some sort of herbal thing.
I've got herbal. So almond, ginger, cloves, lime. Apparently, in that sort of very tiki bar Caribbean-esque kind of.
On the edge of spicy, but then lime to sort of make it palatable, I would guess.
That sounds nice.
It's one of those nice cocktails on Difford's that's got comments. I always like when people have had like a bit of a conversation about them.
Yeah, and I think more and more, and we know our mate at Difford's is very keen on this, it does seem to be becoming more and more of a community. I looked at a few drinks for this, and most of them had comments, and it's just it's a very friendly atmosphere. There's always, no one's ever going, "What the fuck have you rated this 4 out of 5? It's disgusting." It doesn't happen. It's not IMDb. Do you know what I mean? It just, people go, "Oh, I tried this."
It's like a nice corner of the internet where everyone's nice to each other.
It is, isn't it? It's like,
and exchange positive things.
Yeah, which considering most of the time they're going to be hammered is just brilliant.
I think that's a big part of it. But no, I think it's one of those things where there's a shared love, and you can almost guarantee that anybody who's on there posting comments about a drink, if they're saying something negative about it, it will be in a constructive way. They'll be like, I didn't appreciate the bitterness of this, so I substituted in this.
Yeah.
And then your reaction to that is going to be, oh, I'll give that a go. Not, oh, you're a fucking idiot.
But again, always have to say, I always feel that it's supposed to say Difford's Guide, completely not affiliated in any way, shape or form. It just genuinely is the best cocktail website on the internet. Without competition, as far as I can tell. It's brilliant. Great resource. We couldn't do this show without it. We really couldn't. Dave certainly couldn't.
I remember before we recorded episode 1 of this, or let's call it episode 0, because it never aired, you sent me a link and said, if you get stuck for the cocktail stuff, there's this great website called diffordsguide.com. Just go on that and find something that you think fits.
If you've got any interest, and I have absolutely zero doubt that for most people, this part of each episode is the bit that they probably, I don't know, maybe they're learning something. I think our audience is much more retro games than it is cocktails. I don't have a problem with it. But this isn't going anywhere, this bit. It keeps us looking for drinks. It keeps me trying new cocktails. I hope it's doing the same for some people out there. I hope some people are trying some drinks and having a good time and visiting Difford's and learning shit, because it's just a great website.
So what did you go for? What have you got for us?
This has been one of the easier games to find cocktails, because I had grand ambitions when we started that we would find cocktails that fit, the tone of a game, and they would be they would feel like the game, and it would be paired in. We do puns, right?
No, I do puns. You do that shit.
I love it. It's perfect. This has been one of the easier games to find cocktails that relate with. I was trying to show Dave a list of 5 cocktails that I'd written down. The top one was the Test Pilot.
Oh, nice.
There's a spin on the Test Pilot that's called the Blind Pilot.
Oh, please tell me there's a blind drunk pilot.
There's another one called the Burnt Fuselage. There's a riff on the Burnt Fuselage called the Landing Gear.
Oh, I like that.
And there is,
that's good.
of course, a cocktail called the Mile High. I am not going to go into any of the details of those cocktails. I just wanted to point out. And they all sound great. I couldn't make any of them. I'd done something that I haven't done since the Dave just mentioned episode 0. And we've mentioned it a couple of times. We did Pac-Man. It was a technical disaster. It will never be aired. For Pac-Man, I chose a daiquiri, classic daiquiri. And I don't think since then I've done a classic cocktail, because I think I mentioned Corpse Driver number 2 in another episode, but like a pure, really almost hardcore classic, really traditional cocktail. Like someone would say an old fashioned is a cocktail. And Dave's got his hand up.
For Football Champ, episode 15, you did an old fashioned.
Yeah, okay, but this is what I mean. Not very often do we do classic cocktails. The aviation cocktail is one of the sort of, what do they call it? Like a core cocktail. It's one of those things that if you go to a bar and you go, can you make me an aviation? They should be able to do you an aviation.
Yeah. If you go to Harry's bar in Paris, they should be able to do a White Russian, but apparently fucking can't. The original recipe aviation has got a creme de violet. It's got a weird ingredient in it, so it does make it slightly less likely that you can get made it. But it's a. Are you going to say that you replaced that with creme de mure?
No,
oh.
Not today. There's something about it. The first thing that came into my head when I started to looking at cocktails for this game was the aviation, because it's a cocktail that I know because I am into cocktails. And then I went around the houses and I found all those other 5 that I just mentioned, couldn't make any of them, and I just went, you know what? Why don't I do an aviation? It's a classic cocktail. This is a classic game. It's a hardcore cocktail. It's kind of a hardcore game, and it fits not just the name but the tone, and that's what I like. And I have two cocktail muses, basically. Mr. Harry Craddock, who wrote the Savoy cocktail book, and Mr. Simon Difford, who does this brilliant website. And Mr. Simon Difford has done a riff on the aviation cocktail from the Savoy spec. And that's what's on the website. If you if you go on Difford's and look for the aviation and look at Savoy spec, it's the Savoy version, but with the lemon juice toned down a little bit. So it's quite specific measurements. 52.5 ml of gin, 22.5 ml of maraschino liqueur, or in my case, homemade cherry liqueur, 15 ml of lemon juice, and then if you're using like ice out of an ice cube tray, we call wet ice, nothing else. But if you're using good ice, stick 10 ml of chilled water in there, and that's it. It goes into a coupe glass or a martini glass, because it's just a classic cocktail like that, with a maraschino cherry on a stick in it, obviously, because why wouldn't you? And all of the classic cocktails are classic for a reason. This drink, with just those basically 3 ingredients, tastes like none of those 3 ingredients, and this is the brilliance of proper cocktail making. Doesn't taste like cherry, doesn't taste like lemon juice, doesn't really even taste like gin. Just a really nice, it's very spirit forward, obviously, and it's very classic cocktail style, but it's just really nice, really good, really like changes flavour as you drink it. It starts on hard on the gin and you get a bit of the lemon, and it just finishes with just that bit of complexity from the maraschino liqueur and that. It's a really good cocktail. Sometimes you just can't beat a classic, and the aviation is a classic for a reason. I've never tried an aviation with the creme de violet because it's just not a particularly common ingredient, but one day I will. But it's a good drink, the aviation, and obviously, I mean, there's Pilotwings, there's the aviation. I don't have to explain the link. This coming weekend is the latest of the Retro Computer Museum in Leicester's, Dave, bail me out, what are they called?
World Famous Legendary Gathering.
It's a fantastic day. It's just, they open up the museum, they have all of basically every old computer or console you can think of, usually with some form of flash drive or something like that in them, so you can play every single game that ever existed. There's also an arcade where you can lose to Jim Bagley at Outrun 2. It's a great day. They have a bar, everyone's really friendly, it's completely 100% a charity. Please go along. If you're even remotely close to Leicester, we'll be there. Come and say hello. We're going to resist the urge to take even more flyers, because they must have them like fucking wallpapering everywhere by now. But if you see us, tap us on the shoulder, say hi. Please go along and support them. They are doing great work, as I say, and it is 100% run as a charity by people with day jobs in their spare time. So it is well worth a trip. It is well worth your time, I absolutely promise you.
Depending on the current state of the machines, you could have the opportunity to use the mid-90s virtual reality arcade machines as well, but they vary in whether or not they're working.
They are flaky to say the least, but what you 100% will have the chance to do is speak to Mr. Simon Marston. Hi Simon, know you're listening, thanks mate. Who is an absolute legend, and if you've got a question about virtuality, he will be able to answer it. I don't care what it is. Putting it out there. He's going to be a guest on the show at some point in the future. Really looking forward to that. But yeah, you can go along and chat to him and a whole bunch of other people. If you listen to our Christmas special, you might remember we talked a fair bit about micro machines. So that is going to be the game we do next. I mean, mainly I think probably the Mega Drive version, but there's a whole series of stuff we can delve into, have a good chat about, including the thing that broke the relationship between Sega and Codemasters forever. and all that sort of fun stuff. So yeah, tune in for that next time on Cocktail Mode, where gaming and alcohol are in our blood.